Chance of Eddie. West does the right thing. He dives on him. And they just wouldn't stop after hearing the whistle. Double technicals have been handed out. Doc Rivers likes the emotion House has brought out. But you got to control it sometimes. Right now, though, Boston in control. They're up by a dozen here in the second. Eddie House, Delonte West hit with double technicals after getting a little carried away on their held ball situation. Boston leading by 12. Time for the Coors Light Cool Tracks.
You want to get into a game 7, you want to win a basketball game. Well, how bad do you want to do it? Take a look at Eddie House defending the basketball, not quitting on the play, tracking the ball, help position. Well, whose house is it? It's Eddie House. Good job of diving for the loose ball, keeping the ball alive, and sending a message to everybody in the building. We will not lose because of lack of energy, effort, and passion.
Eddie House was a second-round pick out of Arizona State way back in 2000. Played his first 3 years with the Heat, but he's played for 8 teams in the last 5 years, bouncing around. Miami, the Clippers, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Sacramento, Phoenix, New Jersey, and now his first year in Boston, signed as a free agent back in August. They love his locker room presence as well. He's one of those guys, he's always upbeat. He always has energy.
But no one has trusted him yet consistently in the playoffs. Everyone plays him in his role in the regular season. This may be his personal breakthrough for someone to trust him throughout the playoffs.
He was a big-time scorer in college. He's instant offense off the bench. Had some good seasons with Phoenix when the Suns were advancing in the playoffs. A real spark. He can score points in a hurry. Speaking of that, LeBron James, that's a 2 as his foot was on the line. He's not a pure point guard, and he's only 6'1". He's a shooting guard in a point guard's body, as I like to say.
When you think about that, how many pure point guards are there? You got to let this guy play basketball. Pierce has the ball in his hands. Well, put Eddie House in position to catch and shoot.
Pierce will go to the line for 2 more. Pavlovich picks up his second. And again, Pierce, who usually amongst the NBA leaders in getting to the free throw line. It has not been the case as much with the exception of Game 5. But getting to the free throw line for the first time today. LeBron James having a little courtside chat with some fans here along the sideline as he gets the first. NBA playoffs on ESPN continue Tuesday night on ESPN at 8 Eastern. The NBA Draft Lottery, and then Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's either going to be Detroit here in Boston or Cleveland in Detroit. As Pierce knocks down the second one. 12-point lead with 5 minutes to play in the second. Pistons getting a lot of rest while they watch these two teams go at each other. Wallace, Pavlovich, bumped by Pierce, count it and 1. Tough move from Pavlovich, and he's got a chance for a 3-point play.
Good aggressive move by Pavlovich, but you see the problem with having Ben Wallace on the floor offensively. He does not have to be defended. There's no concern about him scoring, but give Pavlovich credit. Catches the basketball in position to attack, gets the foul and the basket.
It's been an injury-riddled year for Pavlovich. We mentioned that ankle injury late in the regular season. Wearing that brace around the left ankle. He can score. Good 3-point shooter, can take it to the basket. Nice feed, Perkins inside. Paul Pierce doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's why you don't need a real point guard on the floor, because Paul Pierce has the basketball in his hands and he's making great decisions. That time gets trapped, finds Perkins.
James a long 3. Wallace the rebound. Wallace has played in more Game 7s than anyone on the Cavaliers. Can't get it to fall. He thought he was hit. Posey trying to get away from Wallace. Oh, Eddie House wanted to shoot that. Pierce does. Garnett with the offensive rebound. 8 rebounds here in the first half for Kevin Garnett. And we have a timeout.
And you see, Paul Pierce has been the best player this half. On both ends, you can make the case. But offensively, pick and roll comes. Big man slashes to the hoop. Good find, puts him in position to prosper.
Go the 92 Eastern Conference semifinals. Tied at 3 games apiece. It was a tough year for Larry Bird. Had a bad back, bothered him throughout the season. Meanwhile, for the Cavs, they were a good team. Brad Daugherty, he was the star of Game 7. Terrific defense, big-time offense. You had Larry Nance, Smart, Price, Hot Rod Williams, a very talented Cleveland team. And they went on to defeat the Celtics 122-104. Larry Bird had 12 points. It wound up being his final game of his legendary career. Was, as we saw earlier, the 21 numbers, including Bird's. Cavs then wind up losing loss to the Bulls in the conference finals that season. Foul on the pass and more free throws. He's down. Of course, we said at the top, Game 7 in Boston. That's what it just sounds right. There's so many times over the years, and so many times here on a Sunday afternoon in May at the old Boston Garden. And it's now the TD Bank North Garden. As James picks up his second foul. There really was no place like the old Boston Garden. This place is starting to get a terrific atmosphere, and it's been so loud throughout the playoffs, but that was one of the all-time special arenas in pro sports.
Absolutely. Horrible locker rooms. Hot, cold.
Special memories, Jeff, for you?
Yeah, beating him here in Game 5. Larry Legend went down that night, Mark Jackson. We were there.
I remember I had the best seat in the house. No question about it. Yeah, great memories.
We played Mo Cheeks 48 minutes for a reason, brother.
Free throw was good.
But it was wonderful. Patrick Ewing's corner 3 to seal it. Oh.
Right now, the Celtics, their largest lead in the first half. With 3.5 remaining in the second. Ray Allen now guarding James.
Very interesting. They don't have Paul Pierce guarding James as much tonight. When Posey was in the game with Pierce, they had Posey guarding him. Now Ray Allen.
James in a lot of pain, it appears. As Perkins is called for the foul. That's 3 on Perkins. He just... Yeah, you look at him, he looks indestructible. Like nothing would hurt him. Well, obviously just landed funny. They already have one shoulder problem with Gibson.
Now, Kendrick Perkins' reaction there is amazing. Like he didn't foul him. He clotheslined him.
If you want to have some credibility with the refs, you can't argue those obvious calls.
The scary thing is I really believe he thinks that he didn't foul. No, he's still complaining on the bench. He's upset with the call. It's a foul.
It might be a double foul. My.
Say it, Mark. Tell him. You're better than that.
No question. Kendrick Perkins, are you kidding me? You're better than that.
Garnett the rebound.
And Mike Brown searching for some answers, gone small, so LeBron James is at the 4th.
The Cavaliers have 28 points in the first half. You look at that score. That's a second quarter score, folks. Pierce, good defense that time from James. We said earlier, it's been one of the lowest scoring playoff series in NBA history. That's continuing. James to the basket.
This is the problem for Boston. They too have downside, so they don't only have one big man to block shots as James goes to the rim.
Rondo almost getting that offensive rebound. They'll go down the other way. Now, despite all the problems shooting, 33%, they're only down by 10, despite the struggles offensively. Varejao making an 8-point deficit.
That's the interesting part. You talk about an 8-point deficit.